Okay, so let's get started. This will be my first video. I will share on this channel basically my outlook on the market, charts for bigger projects, smaller projects, meme coins, NFTs, anything that can be charted. So the idea behind this channel is okay. I like spending my time charting, doing some TA, looking at charts. So I figured might as well make it useful or productive, and share this more serious format. So okay, I think actually the best way to go about it should be maybe to have some live streams where you could have people participating and then sharing their questions, suggestions. But for this first video, okay, I didn't want to postpone it. I just wanted to get started and share a first video to just go ahead and the first step is always the hardest, as they say. So that's my first step. Okay, first of all, let's just go through the main one, so Bitcoin, which is really indicating for the rest of the market whether we're going to go bullish, bearish, sideways from here. And then I will go through the suggestions that I received on Twitter after asking which projects you guys would want me to have a look at. So the list I retained are, besides Bitcoin, Rose, Band, STG, Sol, ZEC. I think one is called MC. It's a meme coin, I guess, on Dex, and then Wild. Those will be at the end of the video. Okay, so first of all here, Bitcoin. The first thing I like to do is just looking at higher time frames to have a better idea of what's happening. Okay, in this case, we can see on a higher time frame, we are not looking too bad actually. We are here on a decent support, so this is the old ATH, and then we are not looking that shabby, although this monthly candle is not the best to look at. So I'm being cautious from my side. In any case, whatever happens here, I would say we are still due to at least a good year of sideways, whether from this level we go higher here and then we come back down towards the end of 2023 to start again the next bull run, or even worse, maybe we break down, go test the lower levels here, then go on sideways and then go again back up, if we ever go back up. So there are no certainties. And then okay, here what we can see on a monthly, as I said, not looking that bad, but the thing is, okay, the longer we spend time here with a weak PA, the worse it is. But I would say this is not horrible looking, let's say. And if you go on the weekly chart, we see, okay, we have a bit better candle here after for the last weekly. This is not the worst chart I've looked at, but I would say this is not okay. This is not like extremely bullish. It's not. You see, for example, here back in 2021, you had a lot of wicks here, which suggested demand. So if you just draw here this level, you can see there is very good reaction to it, which to me indicates, okay, this was a bit better than what we are seeing here. And to be frank, what actually we are seeing here is very reminiscent for me to what happened at this level here back in 2028. And you will see when we switch to the daily, it becomes even clearer that it's not the best let's say chart. Wait. So here, if you draw this level, you can see similarities. Okay, it has consolidated basically here for a few months and then it broke down to this level. And what I actually noticed is that every single correction Bitcoin had over its existence was always close to 85%. So if you take okay, the price range tool here, and you start checking, okay, how much Bitcoin corrected, you will see it's always close to, or at least more than 80%. And it gets close to 85%, let's say, on average, if you want to have a value. to aim at. So here you see 82% for this correction here. Every single one tend to go to this level, regardless of how much percentage the price has appreciated, because every single bull leg up here has a different percentage. However, every single correction is very similar in terms of how much it corrected. See, always tends to be 85%. Never checked this one actually, but I wonder if it's not the same. Yeah, exception here. However, this is not really, I would not say it's such a correction. You know, this was a big liquidity event, deleveraging, and you could argue that maybe the price actually it was just consolidating a whole year here. So I will disregard it. But again, looking here, if we think about 85%, then we are going closer to this level. And also in terms of time frame, the longer time we spend here, so every single top you will see from this level to here. So here we see 396 days between the top and the bottom. Then here for the last major leg up, let's say, and here again, so we have 365 days, so an entire year. And then if we go from this top, which is the actual top, and then we count 365 days, we see that okay, we are still due for a bit of time here before bottoming, maybe another month, so end of November, so end of the year, we could see the actual bottom forming here. And really there is a clear level to aim at. Here if we break down, sorry, so on a daily, let's have a look. We'll see if we start okay at this level, if we are going sideways, so no need to take a short, because until this breaks down and we have clear confirmation that we are going lower, no need to gamble and take predictions. But if we start, for example, seeing a bit more sideways, then we break down like this in a very convincing way, then yeah, it will be totally a short here, especially if you make new lows and you can target this level, in my opinion. Of course, then after this you would have a consolidation here, then you would start going up like we did back in 2028, since there will be a lot of demand at this level. See here. And then okay, but until then it's still possible that this is a bottom. There is no certainty this could be a bottom, even though I'm not convinced. I was initially thinking this would be the bottom, but now it looks more and more like this is a repeat of the 2018 scenario, where 6,000 was the psychological level that everyone thought would never break. 20,000 seems to be, or 19 in this case, seems to be the same thing. And I think we might break down. And if you look at the daily chart and you try to compare the price action back then, you can see there are a lot of similarities. So using the bar pattern chart tool here, you could take this, then you could apply it here, and then you can really see the similarities. But I would argue actually that these daily candles that we are seeing here are very similar to this one. See, those weak, those candles in with very little volatility going on here, that everyone reacts very strongly to. They remind me a lot of what happened end of 2018. So let's remove all these. Just remove these, okay, for the sake of what we are looking at. So I would say, basically, hard to say until we make a decisive move up, and then the price action starts to point up. Then we can maybe say, okay, this is invalidated. Otherwise, I would just not do anything, to be honest, and then I would just wait a bit until it becomes clearer, because I don't have a clear idea myself. Okay, that's pretty much it. So up or down, hard to say for now. let us wait and see how things develop. But I'm really thinking we have a repeat of this scenario if I have to give a clear answer. That's what I'm looking at. And even if you take the, let's say, the bar pattern tool, and then you take the last stop, then you superpose it to the current price action. So let's correct this to make it 1-1, okay, more or less. Then if you take it on top of this stop here, so you align them perfectly, and then you see what happened. You really have exactly the same bottom. So you have this level, right? You have these daily candles, which are kind of aligning with this volatility. So we are really having a similar price action at the same time compared to the previous stop. And then we're looking at this, we could really have an amazing opportunity here to add. I mean, $10,000 BTC is like something you can never disregard. So that's it for Bitcoin. That's my main idea now. Potentially this is already bottom here, since we have a very nice demand zone, but I would tend to say we are going to break down, which is why I'm actually myself completely out of the market, and I'm not really interested in doing anything for the moment. I will focus on just developing things outside of it, and then looking from an outsider, trying to learn, but I will not participate until I have a better idea. Okay, then we have rows here. Quickly, this has been suggested to me that I have a look at it. At first sight, I don't really like it. It doesn't look nice at all. It's like kind of a bearish, or not bearish, but not interesting chart. I mean, look, this is very flaccid. There is nothing nice to look at here. But I charted these levels that are quite clear. You see here there is this demand zone. There is a nice consolidation here that is clearly going to act as a demand. Then I put here this level, which is the level at which I would buy some rows. If I wanted to buy some rows, I would buy something here at this level, and then if it breaks down and goes below this level, I would cut it, because then I would not think it would hold here. It would probably even so go significantly lower, and then maybe even make new lows towards maybe the inception prices. So there is nothing really interesting here. So what I would think happens next, if Bitcoin especially breakdowns, then I would really have this kind of price action here, and then making new lows with very low volatility, and then maybe we could look into something going up into 2024 with basically the entire market going up, so everything would go up at that stage. But here I'm not so interested. And then if you look at shorter time frames, so we have here the 4 hour again. We see there is a clear, nice level here that we could beat. Usually these levels at which the price has an expansion are interesting to look at. They are significant. See, even here the price reacted to it, and then we had a major leg up. So from here to here it's like 30%. So yeah, if you want to take a trade, then I would place my buy just at this level, just here. I would place my stop loss here, just below it, so that if it breaks here, clearly it's going to go lower, and then I don't think it would simply, if it breaks here, so let's put the target into here, the supply. That's how I would look at it, and then the price would either do something like that, then you take your profits, or it would do something like that, going down here, breaking down, retesting lower, then whatever. Not interesting. But I'm not even looking at it. I'm not so interested in it. It doesn't look nice. Band here looks a bit better. Nice level here, nice demand, and then okay. In terms of price action, it's kind of similar, but I just like the chart more. If I had to buy, I feel a bit more confident with this chart, and I would say, okay, here same thing. Basically, if you wanted to buy, you would get some band at this level around $1, and then probably it would have a leg up here, which is a bit more interesting. It's like almost a 2x here. That would be something I would be interested into taking eventually if I was trading, but I'm not interested to take any trades myself for now. And then, okay, there is a clear downtrend. It's clearly a bearish chart. So in and of itself, uh, it would just be a leg up, but it's still 2x. So kind of interesting to take. So in a bear market, so if you get something like that here, euros, then maybe up, then maybe again down, then we break down, test, then we go lower here eventually, or we could have, for example, a leg up, then leg down, then breakout, then bullish expansion there, and maybe that would be interesting. So if you want to have some band for the long term, maybe not, maybe why not buy some here. Also interesting to say, I think during the last bear market, the outperformer, which was bullish, was Link. So eventually, if we have a similar case happening here again, with Link doing well in 2023, while the rest of the market is not doing so well, then band would follow it. So why not buy some here? And then if you see that it breaks down, then you cut at this level. It would be like a 10% loss. But okay, depending on how much size you allocate, this could be acceptable since the risk reward is quite interesting in this case. Okay, then next STG. This is one of my favorites. Actually, I was considering it as a potential link scenario happening once again during the bear because of the backing and who is behind the big money is behind this project, of course. And then just also the narrative. It's a new narrative, basically replacing bridges. We have seen so many bridges, so many hacks happening, and then this can really, in simple terms, you can immediately see what's the value proposal here for this project. So I quite like it. And then in terms of chart, it's very reminiscent of all the DeFi stuff, which because they were farmed, they were dumped to hell, and then you can, after some time, you start having some sideways action, and then it gets up, make a new ATH. So, okay, for example, I'm thinking of Sushi, CRV, very similar price action, and in fact, I used one of the fractals that from Sushi to fit on top of this chart, and it actually coincided perfectly with this bottom. Didn't take the trade myself, but I charted it, and it happened to be the exact bottom. Also, it makes sense that after almost 90% drop, or more than that actually in this case, you start having some sideways happening. But I do not dislike this chart at all. And then, since we had such a significant buying here happening after the Binance listing, you can see that now we are consolidating above this level, which is a very, very interesting area. I would really think, okay, if you want to buy some STG, you can get yourself a bag here. And then if it breaks down, so what I see happening is either we have a very strong impulse here with BTC. If it's bullish, then the rest of the market will follow, and then you really have something interesting going end of the year. It could really offer an amazing return. Or if BTC breaks down, then what you would have is a bit more sideways here, then breakdown, retest, and then it would go lower to these levels, eventually making ATL towards the end of the year, which is actually here the average buying price of Alameda, if I'm not mistaken. So again, if you get an entry towards these levels, there you take it, you close your eyes, and then you never come back. That's basically the idea. So either you have a breakdown here, then you cut everything, and then you wait until end of the year, or you buy some here, which you can cut with a clear level, then you have an amazing entry. So this is very interesting. I myself still hold a spot back of this. This is the only thing I'm holding. And then, yeah, I will probably cut it if it goes down here. Otherwise, I'm comfortable holding this since it still is not invalidated for me. Okay, then Sol. Okay, a bit more a busy chart here. This is the fractal for the price action of Ethereum. As you see, okay, I don't like using fractals to dictate or to call prices levels, but it's nice to get ideas of inflection points or reversal points. For example, here you see this was the first leg up of ETH, which coincides with this bottom. Then here we had a consolidation happening, coinciding with Sol's so topping here, local top. Then again here, the macro top of Sol coincides with the macro top of ETH, and then the bottom for Sol is around here, which also seems to coincide with what we have here. So either for Sol we have a lot of sideways going on until next year, then we touch this level, then maybe we go again sideways, then we break out again sideways, very slow price action towards these levels. Or if BTC breaks down, as I have shared earlier, and it will become very clear, then I think this level, $15, is the level you want to bid. And there, again, it will be for STG, just buy and forget about it. Although what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking might happen is that first STG does quite well because it has never had a major leg up or bullish market. And then after next year, you would rotate your money in Sol because I see that Alameda, they are invested in both of these, and I don't think they would start playing both of these markets at the same time. Okay, that's just my personal thesis. No guarantee on this, but it makes sense to me. So that's what I would look at, especially for Sol. I really think we will have at least a year of sideways here. The price action here is very weak. It looks like everything else, it will follow the majors. There is not going to be any outperformance for Sol now. It's part of the majors. However, this could really happen for STG. Just looking at the chart, low market cap value, narratives, etc. Then we look into ZEC. Okay, a bit of a meme chart here. This is inspired by what Pav has shared in the past. This is basically the same fractally used, which is the XRP price action. Although I kind of like it myself, and I trust that this might happen. I mean, since 2021 was basically a repeat of the 2013 price action. I'm thinking, okay, then this next market cycle might be a repetition of the 2017 price action. And then in that case, the measures like LTC, ZEC might have a run. And we have so many narratives around privacy now, and this has been sideways for so long. I mean, if it happens, it happens now. And basically, why I really like this level, okay, it's clearly demand here. It's forming kind of an inverse head and shoulder. And then if you buy some here towards the end of the year, okay, if BTC goes up next cycle, you would basically have the same thing happening for ZEC. It would follow it, so it's not like you're going to lose any money at this level. And if it makes a crazy move, then at least you hold some. Kind of a joke chart, but deep down I believe a bit of it on it. So let us see. And to check the ZEC BTC chart, so we see here we have a nice range. Okay, a long consolidation forming. It has stopped going down, so that's how I look at it. I don't see any similar sideways action in the history of ZEC before this. So for me, this is the actual sideways happening for it. And I would say, okay, if you break down, goes towards this level, these levels, and then lower, yeah, just forget about it. This is forever cursed. But this is a very nice level to get some at. I mean, this is towards the low of the range, and then towards the end of the year. And then if this thesis is correct, yeah, you cannot get a better value here for this coin. Then let's jump to the last meme coins that have been suggested. So this is a Merit Circle. Someone asked me to chart it. Okay, really, I'm not seeing anything interesting here, to be honest. Just looking at this is simply a dying chart. It doesn't look like STG at all, because STG, contrary to this, first of all, it has a huge backing, and it had clearly some demand zones. So if we look, for example, at the STG chart on this website here, you have a lot more price action, and you will be able to see what I'm talking about. So here, see, basically kind of the same chart I made there, but you see the difference is that you have here some clear demand that you could have tried to get at, and then if you look at the shorter time frames, you will see the levels become even more clear. So here, this level, the 1 hour chart. So this is, let's say, 33 cents. And then if you go here, okay, you can see there are some levels or some wicks happening here that at least suggest, okay, you can maybe try to have a look at buying here, or that there is something at least that indicates you can gamble a bit on it. And it happens to be the actual bottom before a 3x move. And then, okay, for in this case, unless you start seeing some kind of bullish price action happening, I would not buy any. For me, this is a dead chart. I'm not really interested in it. Then Wild, which was also suggested, again, DEX coin or wider. Here again, this is a lock chart, but I'm not seeing anything interesting. This is just completely a bearish chart. There's nothing really to look at. If you want to gamble some of this, yeah, okay, but I don't really see a reason why. Look, this is just going down, very low volatility, nothing interesting happening. So yeah, that is it. So that's it for me. First video. I hope you guys liked it. I will try to make these regularly and then share my ideas, maybe a few a week. And then, yeah, while I learn new things, I will also share them here. And then you can give me your feedback.